Did you guys miss me or what? Two things before we start. Number one, let's pour us a glass of water. I want to be cute, so I'm going to use my wine glass, but we're also going to be hydrated, so boom. You don't cheers with water, so I'm not going to cheer. Now, before I really get into things, I'm going to apply my SPF because I didn't apply any this morning when I did my skincare. This is just the HOUS SPF. I like it because it's tinted, and honestly, I've gotten compliments about my skin just wearing this. I still stand by what I said, but I'm just going to blend this in with a brush instead of my fingers, so that way I don't get that like tint or whatever all over my fingers. I'm still using this Rare Beauty brow gel. I do intend on buying the, what is it, Refi brow lift or whatever. I do want to try that, but I also seen that e.l.f. has come out with a brow lift situation of their own, so I might get that instead, or maybe I'll just do both and compare the two because they do say they're comparable. So we'll do that, but for now, the Refi or the Rare Beauty brow gel does my brows justice. Now I will say sometimes when I've been using the product like every day back to back, because I used to put the product in my brows whether I had makeup on or not, it was causing buildup for some reason, and I washed my face faithfully. So I don't know what that's about, but as you can see, we don't have any of that today, which I'm actually very, very happy about. I am going to color correct a little bit using the e.l.f. I do have some spots on my face that I could, you know, use a little color correcting on, including this mustache. Just pop a light amount underneath the eyes as well. I did realize I didn't prime the skin before I put this on, but that's all good because we don't always need a primer per se. I could just spray my face down with this Caudalie spray. It's nice, refreshing on the skin, and it can be used kind of like as a prep step. But if you got good skincare, then you don't have to worry about anything. One thing about this color corrector, it kind of matches my skin pretty perfectly. I feel like sometimes orange color correctors can be too orange, and obviously that's not good. I don't know if I told you guys yet or not, but I am getting ready so that I can shoot some photo content today. I want to take some pictures, preferably for Instagram. So I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario. I haven't used this in a very, very long time. Over 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that, because I don't think I was using it before in videos. Was I even using foundation at all? Child, I don't even remember, but I do know I love this. So I'm going to, I guess, just pump it onto the skin. Just not too much though, even though I'm going to use foundation. I don't want to, you know, use too much. And I didn't feel like putting it on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take a brush and blend that out. Surprisingly, I don't have any clean foundation brushes other than this mini. So I'm just going to just use this just to initially just kind of like tap this into the skin and just kind of place it where I want it. It's going to look crazy. I promise you it'll get better. I'm going to use a small amount like right here in the center of my forehead. But I'm not going to do too much up there because I just don't need all the product up there. And now I'm just tapping. I am going to use some of this MAC Fix Plus to dampen my sponge just a little more, because the MAC actually helps to just like melt product into the skin. I haven't used the Makeup by Mario concealer in a while either, so I'm going to use a small amount of this under the eyes. I already know that I'm going to have to use a brightening concealer just to add a little brightness to the face, but I want to go in with this first because honestly, I forgot how I feel about it. I should probably let it sit. Yeah, we're going to let it sit just a second. And while we let it sit, let's use a bronzer or contour. I'm going to take the cream in the Patrick Ta palette. So this is She's Sculpted. That's the shade that I have. I'm going to use the cream part of this. and I'm going to place this on the base. I'm going to use the bottom of the sponge. It's something I've been wanting to try, using the sponge and then just pressing that. I have to say, I kind of like the sponge application. It deposits pigment, but it also blends it out at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm not mad about that. And for our loose powder, we're going to use the Laura Mercier. This is the translucent honey. This powder also helps to like make things light and bright, but also smooth, which I absolutely love. Honestly, I love any powder that's gonna make my face look smooth. But the one thing I can say is that I truly appreciate this camera because it just gives you guys the realistic view of what my skin actually looks like. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to vlog with my Sony, but the Canon is undefeated. She is just that girl. I did thought I was gonna go in with the puff, and I'm still gonna use the puff. I really haven't used this sponge like this in a very long time. I'm still gonna take my puff though and just go back one more time with powder, just to make sure these areas are being set the way that I want it to. All right, for powder bronzer, we're gonna use the same Sheet Sculpted powder part. I was going back and forth between this one and the Danessa Myricks palette for my bronzer, but I'm just gonna go in with this, make things simple. This is the Sephora number 50 brush. I specifically bought this brush for bronzer. I have not used it, so we're gonna use it today. And I'm just going to just tap this on. And this should just really help to accentuate that bronzer and just bring everything full circle. I was gonna do shadow today at first, but I've decided against it. I just want to keep things light and airy. But I promise I'll have an eyeshadow look within one of the not the next video. I think the next one I'm gonna do my everyday makeup or variation of, and then the one after that maybe we'll do some shadow. I do want a little glow to the skin, so I'm going to use my Sephora palette, and I'm going to take the gold shade in here and just kind of use that for a little bit of highlight. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I just want to put it on the high parts. Here on the Cupid's bow is always nice. Tip of the nose. And I'm going to go underneath the brows. So I'm going to use my Kosas brow pencil, and I'm just going to fill in the sparse areas, which aren't too many, honestly. My eyelashes, I don't know if I want to put on, I'm going to curl them, but I don't know if I want to do false lashes or do I want to just do mascara, because I do have a new mascara that I bought. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Brown Balm. It's brown instead of black, obviously. And I've actually been loving it, but I don't know if I should save that for more of like an everyday, because that's what I've been using on an everyday basis, or should I just do it now? I've kind of been liking the no lash look, like just the enhancement of my natural lashes, so that's what we're gonna do. I feel like we did a little more than usual with the skin, so let's just keep it simple with the lashes. Now the thing about mascara is you don't just literally apply it, but you can use the wand to like help you shape the lash the way that you want it. A few coats of this on the top and the bottom lashes, and then I think all we got left is to set the face and lip. Lip is, as you guys know, it ain't gonna be nothing crazy.